Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen, sir?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that we have different types or different examples of projects, and because of that, we cannot manage projects the same way. So that's why they came up with the approaches to managing the project. So, so we mentioned three approaches, and the approaches to manage projects are: one, predictive approach. So, so the predictive approach is said to be the traditional approach, the one that has been they've been using since the inception of PMP. So it's a traditional approach, and they also refer to it as it is called plan-based. So it is an approach in which the plan for a project is done from the beginning till the delivery. Everything, I mean, the life cycle of that particular project is planned from the beginning, from the starting to finish. Everything that will happen, they used to plan it. So the activities in the that are supposed to be carried out in the project, they are planned from the beginning and they are carried out. So the outcome of that, of a project, plan-based project, is at the end of everything. So that's why we said the value delivery proposition is at the end, and it is a transition. It is delivered to the customer. So once the from the beginning, the starting, the customer and the project team or the project manager, once they agree that the project should kick off, then the plan is now created by the project manager, and then the customer may not really involve again until the project owner or the product owner may not involve until the project is finished and it is delivered. So that's plan based. But we also have a change based approach, which is called adaptive. So adaptive is coordinated, or uh, it's been just like we have PMI. We have maybe some group of people that believe that we can no longer use plan based for some projects, and they came up with their own idea. So that's they call it mindset agile. They call it agile mindset. It's a mindset that believes that you don't need to plan all the activities that you have in the project, because projects face different um, challenges and different issues. There are different risks that project face, that if you say you want to plan, you know, if you face some risk, like I also divided the risk into three parts last week, that we have known risk, we have known unknown risk, and we have unknown risk. So that all projects, you cannot just say you just want to plan them from the beginning to the end like that. When the known risk setting, those projects may become abandoned. So it is better, let's divide the project into what we call iteration or iterations. So we are facing this particular iteration, uh, then when we complete this iteration, if there is need for improvement, if there is need for any adjustment, or if there is that particular section that is being completed, if there is need for modification or improvement or to add to what has been produced, then they will do it. So once that iteration is completed, then the project moves to the second iteration. So we said in this particular type of project, um, the product owner involved, and he controls the value proposition, that at every stage of the iteration, the project owner involved, and if there is any complaint, if there is anything to be added, if there is anything to be removed, they removed it or they add it. So that's why change-based approach, adaptive, is also called incremental. Incremental in the sense that a product is to be produced, and if, for example, websites now, website development, if a web is to be a project concerning web is to be done, or a software, the thing is, they divide everything. Or
Your voice is getting faint, sir.
okay,
I think you're far away from the now.
okay. So the for example, I was saying that maybe website development, if a project on website or software development is to be done, all the things that is to be done, for example, the development of the background, maybe adding the pictures, and then maybe displaying the full page, all this will be like the background. Now we can divide that one will be put under first iteration. That okay, after getting all the important tools or requirements for the project, then the first iteration is background. So, and that is what the focus will be on, that we are creating the background first. After the background, then we move to another iteration. So after they've completed the background, the customer or the product owner needs to check and see, is the color okay, is there anything to be modified in the background or not. If there is anything, they quickly add it, and that's why we call it incremental. That is, at that particular level of the product produced, there is something that needed to be added, and then they will add it to it, and then before they move to the next iteration. So key roles in adaptive, they are product owner, project team, then we have team lead, scrum master, agile coach, and people that we call facilitator. Are you aware about do you know about scrum, sir? This scrum?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
I've forgotten that. I thought I'm talking to maybe
sir.
some of my students that don't know anything much about project. So we have the scrum, and that's just for people who really want to practice, or they want to be involved in managing the software. And I think they also have their own curriculum that you can write exam under them. So
Oh,
just like PMI, yes, the Scrum. Scrum is also a project management body that, especially for those that wants to be managing the projects, software projects, or all those AI projects, software projects. Now, they adopt their own methodology.
okay.
So, but at least the PMI, they want us also to have, some experiences, or they want us also to have knowledge about how they do their own thing. So that's why they included it and made it to be part of the, agile has not been part of their questions before, but lately they have added agile. So once we finish their own curriculum here, that's agile knowledge too, that we also need to have. So I don't know whether you have material on agile. Do you
Yeah,
have?
yeah, yeah, I have to one from that Udemy that I told you, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So, okay. So I don't really need to talk too much, other than just focusing on the key points, since you two you are in the field already. So we have the hybrid. Then hybrid is just combination of both that is the practice or the use of both the predictive and then adaptive methodology. So those are the three approaches to project management. Then we also have a term called PMO. So the PMO is called the Project Management Office. So they play supportive role, controlling role, and directive role.
Please, can you go to, sorry, sir. Please,
Yeah.
can you go to presentation mode?
Presentation mode. Okay.
It's beside the minus sign. That
I've,
icon beside
I've
the
even
minus.
I've switched to my system.
So move to your right, sir. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you passed it. The one before the minus sign. You're on the minus now. Yeah. Down. This one. Yes.
Shit.
Down. This one.
This one is meeting details.
This icon that is here. You know, a slide. If you want to go to, okay, go to slide show there.
Okay.
Up. Up. So that you can show the full.
Okay. Okay. My full screen, Abby.
Yes, it will now show the full presentation. I will not be saying I'll see what we are concentrating on.
Okay. Okay.
Go to slide show, sir.
I will do the slideshow. It's okay.
Okay, that's why I said you press that.
Is it okay now? Hello?
Oh, I'm still seeing all the pages in the this thing on your slide.
Eh, ah,
I want to see only that project
mm,
management office PMO.
I understand.
That's why I said go to present slide show. Go to slide show. If the presentation is not working beside the minus sign that you pressed just now, it's supposed to work. Yes,
Yeah.
this one. You are pressing
Yeah,
minus sign.
that's what I. That's what I.
It's loading. Then it stop. Let's go to slide show.
It's
So
already.
see.
It's already displayed on my. It's already.
Okay, display at your own end.
Yeah, it's displayed at my own
Let's
end.
continue. But it's supposed to also display at this end.
Okay, maybe. I'm going. Let me reshare. Share the entire screen. Is it clear? Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Clearly, because
Yeah,
I'm
I
sh-
can see it, but
I'm
it's
I'm sharing my entire screen now, so I'm on presentation mode.
yes.
Is it
Go ahead,
okay?
go ahead, go ahead.
No, if it is not
Yes.
okay, let me know so that I can.
So I was thinking it's going to show only that one. Like I can still see the next slide that you want to show after this.
It's not on my own.
Let's
Okay,
go like
let me.
this.
I'm coming.
Let's go this forward.
Slideshow,
Let's continue.
narration, monitor. Automatic is presenter view, narration.
Correct. Click on that. Sir.
Yeah, that's what I clicked. So you are taking me away
Yeah.
from.
This is better now.
Okay.
Yes.
So
It has shown it clearly now.
okay.
So I don't need to see what is coming next on your slide.
Yes,
You will see what is
yes,
coming
yes,
up.
yes. That's how it's supposed to be. So project management office, they play supportive role.
Your voice is getting lower again. I think you are moving
Mm,
away from the speaker.
so they play supportive role,
Uh,
controlling role, and then directive role. So supportive role, such as they develop best practices, methodology, standard, and template. Coach, mentor, train, guide, project manager. They control by monitor, ensuring that the project manager and the team they uh, ensure that they comply with the management standard, policies, procedure, and maybe template. So, and they also play directive role. They manage the shared resources. The organization, if there are some people that will be working on the project and working on the in their offices to do their primary roles there too. So they ensure that at least things are done properly, so that when the project manager needs to make use of some of those people, they will not say I have to finish my job role before this particular one. So primarily PMO play three major roles: so supportive, controlling, and directive role. Then for the agile, just like I said that the we have the PMI, and we can have the predictive approach, and we have the agile approach, which is the one controlling, or the approach that has to do with adaptive. So for those that are practicing or that are using the agile approach, then they, instead of PMO, what they used to have is ACOES, and that's what we call the value delivery office, VDO. So agile mindset, they believe that you don't necessarily need to have a project manager who will carry or who will shoulder all the responsibility of the project. They believe in collaborative team. That is, let's raise a team, and then since the project is having a kind of iteration, is divided into different sections. So when we move from section A, maybe a facilitator should be appointed, or somebody can be appointed to lead uh, that particular section. And then once that particular section is over, then another section can lead it. But that's not to say that they don't have project manager. Only that the way the project manager in Agile is going to manage the project will be different from uh, the predictive approach. So the coach team, rather than just saddle the project manager with responsibility of controlling, carrying all the activities of the project on his head. So they build what we call agile mindset, skill, capability throughout the organization. So the agile, they have some mindset, or they have some principles, just like PMO. I mean, just like PMI also, they have some laid down principles that anybody who wants to participate or to involve in the project work, they must also have that mindset. So which we are going to see later on. Then they also mentor sponsors and the product owner. So it's just like to say maybe office of the president. So anything that has to do with presidency, that's the offices that's office that we're going to coordinate it. So that's just PMO for the predictive approach, and then for adaptive approach, we have the VDO, or value delivery office. Then we said we have project has levels, and then levels start from what a project is just when you have a single project. Then when we have two or more related projects, then project becomes um, program. Thank you. Then when we have unrelated projects with related projects, then that project is called portfolio. So
Yes.
we are now saying that the process for value, so or any of these, they are just way of delivering or getting a value delivered into organization to promote that particular or to improve that organization. So that's why another term they call a value delivery system is OPM. OPM means organizational project management, and so it's just a strategy as execution framework that coordinates project, program, portfolio, and operation management, which enables organization to deliver on a particular strategy. So it's just to say that uh, in organization, when value or project can be done, the value of the project can be done, or project can be achieved through any of these, either portfolio, either program, either project. Any of this can be used to deliver value into that particular organization. So, and when the project is to come on or is to come up, there are some factors, or the project is done in an organization, and then the organization, there are some environmental factors they have to consider, and there are also internal factors they have to consider. So what I also want to mention here, apart from those three levels that we talked about projects earlier on, of as a system of value delivery: portfolio, program, projects. There's also what we call operation. I don't know whether we talked about operation last week.
No, we did not talk about
Okay, so operation. So let me just throw it to you. What can we say about operation? Because you usually have a question that has to do with that. No, no. Operation. You usually have
what?
questions that has to do with operation and project.
Okay.
Mm. So what's the difference between project and operation?
Will I say, if I want to use it in the office setting
Mm.
way, whereby we have the operation department,
Yes.
which are the people that look at they work in line with the procurement team, whereby they monitor the order, they monitor how, when it's going to arrive, they do the FS, they organize how the order is going to arrive and how you are going to deliver it to the customer. That's what I know basically the operation does in my organization.
Okay. So what's the difference between, so are there differences between project and operation?
Yeah, they are different there because without projects, operation cannot exist.
Okay, thank you.
So operation work in line with the project as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. So project is a way of creating operation, or is a way of creating what will become operation. So operation is just what keeps the organization going, when the management of the result of a project now. Or let me just say, um, it's just like when.
Your voice is faint again.
Okay, I'm using the earpiece. So
Okay.
so project is a temporary, uh, is an endeavor to create unique product, service, or result. Okay, and when the project is completed, to produce a particular product. Then the continuous producing of that particular product is through what we call what operation. And that's why in organization what we now do is operation management. A manufacturing organization now, before that they started the production, or before they start the production, they have to do projects. They will build the structure, they will install the machine, they will do everything in order to be producing. So by the time the project now complete, they will commission the project, and then they will now start what producing the product. So the production of all those products, day-to-day activity running in an organization, is what we refer to as operation. That is the job role that individually now do. I get to my office, I open my laptop. An accountant, he has to balance the account, and he has to do all manner of things, pay salary at the end of the month. That's operation. So every project will become operation later on. It's just like maybe let's take for example the banks now. They want to, that time they introduce an ATM machine. So we want to install ATM machine pool or house, and then they go into that particular product. They got the machine, they got all this thing, they did the installation. So that's a project that we have a time when we have to start, and we have a time when the project will finish. That's operation. That's a project. So but immediately they finish the installation, they commission it, and the customer are now using the that ATM machine. So if I want to go and withdraw there, what do? I put in my card, I'll put my pin, then I'll press the amount I want to withdraw, and then the machine will it would bring the money out, and then the following day I will do the same thing again. That's an operation. Yes, Unilever, other organizations that are producing, they produce the same product every day. The Let's Say toothpaste now, they are producing the same every day, until they just discover that we need to improve on this, and let's change the what, maybe let's change the pack, let's change our branding. That's when another project will now come up. So but immediately they finish that particular project, then the product, producing it every day, is what we refer to as operation, or what we call the operation management. But at the same time, when the project is going on, we also still have the operation also going on in the project. For example, construction work, you will have some people that their own job role is, maybe they are the one that will be carrying block every day. That's an operational work. So operation is just like the activities that is done repeatedly, that it may not really have what, an end. It's something that keeps the organization going. So that is operation, is the result of a project, or when the project deliver a value, then the value will now be utilized. The value will now be in continuous utilization. That's operation. So in terms of the difference between project and operation, we can say that project will involve spending money, while the operation is what the organization used to what, to get their revenue back. Are we together, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and then project work is once. What I mean is project has a divine time to start, and it has a divine time to end. Project does not involve repetitive task, while the operation involve repetitive task. It's the same thing.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
an
same
account.
thing.
Yes,
Yes.
every day, every day, every day.
Yes.
So I've seen that in project management exam, the question like that always come out, whereby they are trying to want us to compare between the project and operation. So operation is repetitive in nature, while the project is not. Project will deliver a value, but operation is the outcome of a project. Operation starts when the project finishes. Projects involve, funding. It involves spending money. Why the operation? Yes, we spend money in operation too, but it is a way of getting the money back, of getting the revenue. It's a source of revenue generation to that particular organization. So, we have operation managers. We can have project managers. Operation manager, their own work is what? Is continuous. But the project manager is meant to manage a project at that particular time that is being defined for the project. So we have further the difference between project, program, and portfolio, as we have it here. Okay. So any question or any concern for now?
No, 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 sir. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Now, yeah, we said we are talking about project that has to do with organization, and that's just the reason why we want to write exam. If it is a personal project, I don't need to become a PMP before I can manage my project. So, but because we want to be satisfied, so that when we have organization is having anything that's called a project, we can use our skill, you can use the knowledge, we can use the necessary tools to manage it, manage the people, to deliver the result. And so we need to know, just like here, there are factors that can contend or that can affect the delivery of the project by the project manager, either internal factor, either external factors. So we're going to talk about external factors later and the internal factor, but the main thing now is, let's look at the structure of organization. It's very important that project manager must also understand the structure of the organization. Organization have the structure, the way they are being structured, the way they relate, who will project manager report to, what authority does he have in this organization. So we have what we call organizational structure. So is every organization have governance. They are structures in such a way that people and in that organization, how do they relate? Who should I report to? Who is reporting to who? Who takes authority or order from who? How much authority is the project manager has? Is what we want to look at here. And then what resources will be available, how the project will be conducted. So what we are saying is, since the project is not is something that has to do with organization, so it's very important that we need to take note of organizational structure. So we have 4 organizational structure: 1, functional; 2, metrics; 3, project oriented; 4, composite. Now, in functional organization, it's a type of organization. Okay, let me just say, okay, in organization, just like we know, we have experience, we've been working. Organization have departments, right?
Yes.
IT department, accounting department, operation department, and all that. Mhm. So let's say, for example, the accounting, they said they don't want to be using manual to do their work again. They don't want to do paperwork again. They want maybe a software and all that. They want to go digital. So it's a form of project, but it is in accounting department. So, and each department in organization also have departmental head. which may be called team lead, or we in project language we call them functional manager. So we have functional manager, which may be like the person that is leading that accounting department. We refer to him or her as functional manager. So when a project is to be done there, in functional organization, every decision that the project manager will need to make must come from functional manager. You know, every organization has what we call organogram, whereby we can have the CEO or MD, then we can have maybe some GMs, and then maybe we can have some departmental heads. So, but we are saying that when a project is to be done in account in a particular department, project manager will not take 100%, or I mean he will not even take any decision on his own. So that's what this table I have here now is trying to create a difference between them, that we have functional, matrix, and project oriented. Composite is not mentioned because composite is just like mixture of all these three. Are we together, sir?
Yes, sir.
So the mixture, that is composite structure, is a structure whereby all these three are being practiced there. But let's look at the functional first. In functional organization, how about the team loyalty to the project and the project manager? So in functional organization, team are loyal to their functional department. So if they need the project manager need anything from that particular department, despite the fact that it is the project for their department, they want to finish their job, they want to concentrate more on their job role. So in this organization, team loyalty or team member loyalty is more to their functional department. Then team member reporting, even if they participate in the project, they will not report to project manager directly. They will be reporting to their functional manager, functional head. Then what's the functional manager role here is seldom identified. So what we are saying here is, in functional organization, project manager does not have any power to take any he doesn't have authority here to take any decision on his own. All the decisions he have to be subjected to the opinion of the functional manager. So that's why we say the control of the project manager over the team member is non-existent. It's non-existent. The functional manager controls that particular organization. So it is very, very important that the project manager knows this, so that I can know my level, and then that will now impact in how to plan the project. That once I study that, okay, this particular organization is a functional organization, then whatever thing I want to do must be reported to the functional manager or the functional head. So the authority of a project manager in functional structure, organizational structure, is 0. At least when we are in terms of rating, 0 to 100% is 0%. So he has to submit his loyalty to the functional manager. Are we together, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the opposite of functional is project oriented or projectized organizational structure. Now, projectized organizational structure is just complete, opposite to functional. Project manager does not have any power at all. So the question may be, in which organization will the project manager's authority 0, or is lowest, or the least? The list is functional organizational structure. Well, whereas in project oriented, that's where his power is what? Is the highest. So in project oriented organization, that organization is having, maybe they may be having a project department. They have PMO there, that any project in any department that they want to embark on, it will be handled by what? By the PMO or the project department. So the project department will appoint a project manager, and every decision, even though it's a departmental project, every decision to be made to deliver that particular project will be given to project manager. So that's why we are saying that, what about the team members' loyalty? In project oriented organization is to the project, whereas in functional is to their department first. So I remember there's a project I will involve in, whereby we are installing maybe some security software for some banks, and each time we want to log in to some environment, despite the fact that we are using the test environment, somebody will still have to be on ground to input the password, and sometimes we have to work overnight. So if the person is not with us, they have to find a way of waking him up at night. Then we connect with him remotely to be able to input the password. So that's what happens in functional organization. But if we are to be project oriented, all the resources to be used will have been what? Been given to the project manager. So the person, even if that sensitive case like that is involved, the person will have to be what? On ground, because sometimes we have to be because it's overnight, the person may be sleeping. We have to be calling the phone 24/7, and maybe the work that we are supposed to have completed, or when they shut down over the night, by 4 a.m. they have to come up again. So sometimes the work they are supposed to take us like 2 days will be extending to maybe 3 or 4 days. So, but if we are to be project oriented, the project manager have the authority over that particular person, that, oh, you have to be on site with us, that when we need this password, you have to input it. So team members reporting, they report to the project manager. Project manager role is full-time and responsible. His role there. Then team role to the project is full-time on the project. Then the project manager's control or authority over the managers over the team member is high. It's non-existent in the functional manager. So in a project that will involve using 10 people, in functional, all the 10 people to be used will be recommended by the functional manager. But in project oriented, if 10 people are to be needed, all the 10 people will be appointed or will be recruited by the project manager. So that's just the difference between functional organizational structure and the project oriented organizational structure.
That means both of them has their own power to decide what happens in and out of their department or the project.
So what we are saying is concerning we are comparing project manager and functional manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a functional manager,
yes,
the project manager doesn't have any say.
It doesn't have any say. Thank you.
Doesn't have any say.
Yes, so if it is project oriented organization, yes. So the functional manager will completely, be out of that particular project. Then the one at the middle is matrix. So the matrix organization is just like an organization where we have the two are available. We have a mix. We call it mixed organization, whereby both functional manager and project manager have something to contribute at every stage of the project.
Can we call them hybrid?
Well, because we also still have composite. Composite combines all this together.
Okay.
So we cannot really say matrix is hybrid.
Yeah, I
Uh,
understand.
yes, if you look at the way hybrid work, we may want to, but since we have a composite, which is okay, all the three are involved: functional, project manager, and then a particular a project that we need to use. Okay, the composite is sometimes when we have a particular project, we use functional approach. When we have some projects, we apply project oriented. So that is composite. But the matrix is two of them are utilized. Two of them function in a particular project. What do I mean? If you need to use 10 people, okay, so instead of the functional manager to take all,
You have to be sharing it
it
with
has
the
to be
other.
shared. So that's why we call it shared organization.
Yeah.
So it now depends on the type of matrix. So matrix have strong matrix, we have balanced matrix, and we have weak matrix organizational structure. We have the strong matrix, we have the balanced matrix, and we have the weak matrix. So in strong matrix, the authority of the project manager is higher than that of functional manager.
Okay.
That is, we want to use 10 people. Okay, project manager in strong matrix, you
Bring seven.
bring 7, then the functional bring 3. So it depends on the ratio that they want to apply. But the thing is, what the project manager has contributed is higher than that of the functional manager, and the authority he has is higher than that of functional manager. That's for the strong matrix. So the balance matrix is what? 50-50. No cheating. So that's why we said uh, sometimes we can have what? For in terms of the member loyalty, is conflicted loyalty too. It
Yes.
depends
One will
on.
be loyal to
Uh-huh,
one. One will
uh-huh.
be loyal to one.
Yeah, so it depends. If it is strong matrix, they must be loyal to the project manager. If it is weak matrix, they have to be loyal to the functional manager. So, but in some, it is 50-50. Okay, we need 10 people, bring 5. The other party will also bring what? 5. That's balanced matrix. So, the project manager's role is coordinator to full project manager. That is, it may be weak, it may be uh, uh, half strong, or it may be also be stronger than the other person. So team role could be part-time here, and then the control of project manager over the team member, medium, be shared with functional manager or the sponsor. So I know that they always twist a question that has to do with this as well. So that's why we also have to look at it.
Understand it.
Mm. So the composite is they are not really particular about one. That this organization, we don't know whether they will use functional approach structures. Sometimes they will use matrix, they will use strong matrix, they will use strong or. So we are not saying they are not really focused on one. They just mix all of them together. It is anyone that meets the project they want to go into that they make use of, and that is the type of structure that we are mostly common now. So you see, most of our organization, they don't operate fully functional because sometimes that may delay things, and they don't operate sometimes fully projectized because we don't want project manager also to overdo some things. So we say, okay, when we have a project, this approach is okay. Let the departmental head, be the leader here. Project manager work with him, or sometimes project manager, you are the one that we are given the full control to take over the project. So, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in which organization is the power of project manager the highest?
Project oriented.
Project oriented, thank you. So, it's in project oriented that the project authority is the highest, while it is the lowest in functional structure. It is shared in metric structure. So it depends on whether it is high or strong or balanced or weak. So, and that is what structure is just all about. Every organization have structure. So, but those that don't have strong structure, you see that they just mix things together. Because we used to see that some of those white organizations, we can see the structure, but some of our own here, you see that we just mix all things together. So
the structure.
yeah, so all those structures that are mixed together, that's what we call the composite. Any any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you must have also met with see some of this also, that the project management principles. So it's just the principles is just like a guide for the practitioners. That what are we expecting for all the practitioners of projects? So we have 12 of them being given by the project PMI. That a project manager must be diligent, not project manager alone, but all the project practitioners. So that's why they say guidance for all project practitioners. So projects require diligence, and then since people are going to be involved, they have to be respectful. Everyone in the team must be respectful, and they must care for each other. So everybody must have a caring attitude. Then number 2 is to recognize, evaluate, and respond to system interaction. So the practitioner, they must know that, especially now that one approach may not work. So we have to switch between predictive and adaptive approach depending on the project. So anything can change, the system can change. So what we are saying is the practitioner should be able to quickly adapt if there's going to be any change at any point in time. So projects, sometimes we have simple projects, sometimes we have complex projects, and the delivery of projects also involve being able to be patient, and then being able to be strong, because some things may happen that may want to frustrate the project manager, wants to frustrate the team member. So they must have the ability to navigate what we call complexity. So some issues are complex, but the project manager, the project practitioner must not just lose hope. So anything can happen during the course of a project. So that should not say that no, we don't want to do the project until maybe there's 100% reason, maybe funding or some natural disasters, that will say no, we cannot continue from here. Otherwise, in as much as there is still hope that the project will be successful, the practitioners will not lose hope. That's number 3, navigate complexity. The number 4 is to create collaborative project team environment. So this day, one cannot work
very important.
No one cannot work in isolation, especially now that we now have a co-located team. who do we call co-located team, sir?
There are people that you work in the same office.
Okay,
They are in the same
in the
environment.
same location. Then
Yes,
now
same
we have
location, same
also
office.
we have virtual team members too these days. So if
Yes, different from different states, different countries,
yes,
different.
so that's why there must be collaborative effort. People, the physical environment, and the team must work together to achieve the result. So we have also demonstrate leadership behavior for everyone. So irrespective of project, whether project manager or the team members, everyone must behave as a leader. So that leadership attitude, leadership skill must be developed, and project manager should also, as a project manager, as a leader too, he has to develop that leadership mindset in the mind of everyone that is involved in the project. Then projects involve risk, an ability to optimize risk, and then to respond to risk will make the project also to be successful. So another mindset is, or another principle is ability to optimize risk. Risk also is categorized into two generally. We have positive risk and we have negative risk. Positive risk are called opportunities, while the negative risk are referred to as threats. So how do we respond to each of them is different. So we'll be looking at that later on. Then effectively engage with stakeholders. So there's no way, and we looked at stakeholders last week, that they are anyone who has vested interest in the project, and anyone could be
Yes, which also have positive and negative.
yes, it could be positive or negative stakeholder. We can have active and passive. So we look at that later on. Then the another one, another principle is tailor the based on context. So it's just like we said, we have the three approaches now. So the project of today may not require, or some projects may not require me to use predictive approach. Or if I move to, projects have stages. In predictive, we said project has life cycle, and we have 5 life cycle. That is, project has, stages. It has to move from the beginning to the end. That's when we
Yes.
mention initiation or initiating phase, planning, execution, controlling and monitoring, and then closing
Yes.
phase. So sometimes I cannot say that, the approach we use during planning, or even we have to plan for a lot of things. The approach I use during planning, maybe the scope may not be the same approach I will use when I'm planning the schedule for the project. So what we are saying is, every practitioner, especially the project manager, should be able to tailor the best approach for a particular project in order to get the best result, or in order to get these results, so in order to achieve success in a project. So finishing projects also, some complex project requires changing method, changing the approach, like we said, but it also require resilience from the people, from the practitioner. There are some projects that we have some tough stakeholders.
Yes.
So like we just mentioned this organizational structure now. So if they have a particular uncooperative functional manager, without being really make up one mind to succeed in that particular project, it may be difficult. So
Yes.
resiliency is very, very important. And number 10 is focus on value. Focus on value. So we have said that project is a system of what? Value delivery. So the value the project is going to deliver should be at the back of all the practitioners, and that is what we now make them not to focus on personal issue, to focus on maybe some flimsy excuses or some things that will affect the success or the delivery of the value. So what bring everybody together is the fact that we want to create a unique product, we want to render a particular service, or want to get a particular result, and until that is gotten, any other personal issue, personal maybe complaint or any other thing that can affect will not be allowed. So we said all the practitioners must also focus on value. Then projects involve building quality. In fact, the outcome of a project is to bring out quality. When we say something is valuable, then there is a quality in it that makes it to be what it is, or what is called to be. So I mentioned triple constraint last week. Do you remember? We mentioned triple constraint. What are the major constraints of project? You know, I think I used once something like a rectangle to draw something for you.
Yes, which you talked about the time we cost.
Yes. They are the constraints. So at that middle of triangle, then you have quality there.
Yes.
So quality is just the value that the project is meant to deliver. So the outcome of a project, we bring a particular product with a certain value. So what we are now saying is value is not gotten at the end of the project only. It has to be part of the what? Of the planning process. It's from the beginning. So it could be, if I have a project, I have also to what? To get the quality materials. If I don't get the quality materials or quality raw materials, there's no way I can get the quality product. If I don't have quality people, there's no way I can get results that is quality.
Correct.
So that's why we said we have to build quality into the processes and deliverables. Then there is the last one is enable change to achieve the envisioned future state. That is project is to bring change into a particular system. And even during the planning too, these days we have to, and that's the reason why hybrid is the order of the day now, that we are not really sticking to adaptive, we are not really sticking 100% to predictive, but we have the hybrid. So we should be able to, if there's any reason why we need to a particular process need to be changed, yes, so we have to be flexible in order to get.
When we need to use hybrid, we use hybrid. When we need to use predictive, we use predictive. And when you need to use adaptive, we use adaptive.
Yes. So these are just the a guidance or the principle they call it for all the project practitioners. So it's not for only project manager but everybody. So there are 12. There are 12. So this 12 principle, that is, if they believe that if everybody can have this as their principle, then the project will be always, we won't be having abandoned project the way we used to have in all our in our setting, like in our country now.
In our country,
Yes,
as a whole,
many
different electrons will get abandoned.
yes. So some of the things that could make the project not to be successful may be, showing negative attitude to some of these points. So, and that's the reason why before the Oyinbo we recommend anyone, okay, pass through the PMI now. They believe that before you pass the PMI, you must have studied this, and they are expecting us to develop, to follow these principles. So, before we said we have what we call project life cycle. That is, these are just the processes projects go through from the beginning to the end of the project. Yes, yes. So, and that was what we used to discuss in version 6. So, but in version 7, that's when they now break it down, or they expanded their scope. That said, okay, we don't just want to. It's just a way of modifying the project life cycle that we used to have. So instead of calling it project life cycle, which comprises of 5 phases now, what they call it now is performance domain. Yes, they call it performance domain. So that is, if we develop all those mindsets, and then we have a project to manage, for us to be, what are some of the things we need to do with the principle to achieve the result? That's what performance domain is talking about. What to be done, the areas we need to focus on in order to get the project done. That's what they call performance domain. So before, it was divided into 5, but they just reform it and then now make it to be 8 now. So instead of 5 phases of project life cycle, they change it to 8 performance domains. And so, what are the domains? Stakeholders. That is, for us to be able to deliver a project, we must know how to manage the stakeholders. So stakeholders is like a a section that we need to study, or that we need to know.
Like they are gods.
No. So it's just saying, like, it's a before we used to have what we call knowledge area. In version 6, what they used to say is knowledge area of the project. Project management is, the application of knowledge. So what are the knowledge area we have before? We have the planning, we have the execution, we have the controlling and monitoring, and under each there are some things that we need to do under them. So we are saying, okay, stakeholders, it is a knowledge area that we need to study. How do you identify the stakeholders? How do you classify them? How do you manage them? How do you engage them? That's what we are to talk about, and the project manager needs to, so that when I have a project, I will know that there are some people, just like say they will present themselves as God, and in a way, if you don't know how to manage them, they are ready to what? To scatter the project for you, and the blame will not go to them, but to the manager or the project manager. So how do we manage the stakeholders? That's the first domain. The team. It is responsibility of a project manager to develop high impact team, the team that will deliver. So what are the things we need to put into consideration when we are developing the team? That's another domain, another knowledge area. Then development approach and life cycle. So they partially mentioned this. It was just all those initiating, planning, and all that. So that also is they didn't throw it away completely. So, but they didn't focus on it 100% again. Then, planning used to be one of the major phase before, but now they are making planning also to stand as a knowledge area. So, and that is where we have a lot of things to talk about. So many things that the project manager needs to plan for. Project fail, or many projects can fail during the planning stage. So we have the planning domain, then the project work and the delivery. They are under execution before. So what are the project works, activities, and all that? Then the delivery. How is project being delivered? Then things that has to do with quality now. That's measurement. Measurement for certain quality, and so the measurement is just things that has to do with quality. And then we have uncertainty. So that uncertainty domain, we talked about risk. So that's when we talked about risk, different types of risk, how risk can be identified, how to analyze the risk or risk in project, and how to respond to risk. So all these are just things that we discuss and things that we focus on before you write the exam. So the entire the project management professional a scheme or syllabus is based on this 8 domain. So that's what they want us to know. Okay, know something about stakeholders, know something about team, know something about what they call development approach and life cycle, know something in particular about planning, the project work, which is execution and delivery, know something about controlling and monitoring, and know something about uncertainty, which is what we call risk. So 12 principle we guide the behavior in the 8 project performance domain. So all those principles that we mentioned then they are what yes. Collaborative, optimized risk, tailor-based context. Yes. So they're saying if we have this mindset, then we apply it to do the work. And for us to be able to deliver the work the project involved, these are different stages we pass through and things that we need to.
Your voice is gone.
So I said these are different stages or different, like the work that we have to concentrate on in order to be able to deliver that will help us to deliver the project successfully. So just like I said, the PMI now, they are looking at their own, and they are also looking at the other a kind of the other or a kind of other body, the other organization or a kind of other body of project practitioners. So actually we have some other ones apart from just PMI and maybe Agile, or like we now have Scrum. We have other Prince 2. Prince 2 also is a project management practitioner. I think that one is common in UK. So it's not as popular as the PMI principle. So, but majority of them they follow adaptive approach. So let's look at agile approach to agile mindset. So agile, just like PMI now, we have looked at their own principles with 8 domains. So let's look at the agile and then their belief or what their principle is based on. Also their own principle is there are 12. There are 12 principles, but they have 4 mindset, 4 major mindset. They call it Agile Manifesto. 4 value from the Agile Manifesto. So there are more than 50 known Agile practices and methods in use. So there are more than 50 that are practicing Agile, and some of them is the Scrum that we mentioned. We have the Scrum, we have the Kanban practitioner, and when you see some of those people that are developing software today, even the tool like Trello, Asana, uh, Jira. So all of them, their own, their own software is tailored towards the agile approach. So there are many, people that are practicing agile approach, but they have a common mindset too, and they have 12 they have principles. So let's look at their approach. The Agile Manifesto for Software Development. So purposely, the Agile purposely come up as a result of software development. So they are using it. This approach is being used for software development. Then, but at things people begin to see also that they are making sense, and then we are trying now to adopt it or to adapt it into other project management. For example, this mindset can be they are applying it to maybe even construction, building construction now. That what it has always been is, if I have a land, until I have the full money to build, I want to build from finish to start. But the agile mindset is saying that you don't need to do that. What you need to do is, once you have the money for foundation, do the foundation, make the foundation solid, plan on the foundation, do the foundation, make it solid, and then you can stop for a while. Then that's a first iteration. Then the second iteration is, we are ready to do the block setting, so we plan on the block setting, and then when we get it to the linted, then if there's anything to improve on, if there's anything to change, that's fine. But if not, we now plan for the order. So that's the agile mindset. So we are uncovering better way to developing software by doing it and helping others to do it. So they are the focus on, or maybe their approach, their principle is being tailored towards managing the software or development of a software. So, and up to tomorrow, people like Microsoft, they still use that, and other
Yes.
software development. You will see that they will just release a particular version and they will release it to the public. Okay, let our customer use them. So once we finish, once they use it, then they will send their feedback. Oh, this particular software, these are the security challenges that we are facing. Is this, is that, is that. So they collate all the feedback and they now work on it. So by the time they are now releasing it, then they will now be charging money. And like Microsoft with
just do a trial version.
yes, a trial version. So Microsoft and Windows now, we want you also to what? To always connect to them to get update. To get update. To get update. So the update is meant to improve the performance, is to increase what they have done, and that is what we are talking about, incremental. So they have done it, but they still believe that there is always something to improve on what they have done. So that's incremental. And in terms of quality, we call it continuous improvement. So the mindset or the manifesto is this. One, they believe in, through this work we have come to value individual interaction. So the mindset, the agile mindset, believe in individuals and what? Interaction. Whereas what PMI is holding on to before as a means of delivering a project is process and tool. So once you just know the process, all those 5 phases, once you know it, and each phases, I remember that time, each phases, there are tools that you need to study. And they just discover that at the end of it, that's okay, this particular tool, you know them as input tool, then you are going to get this, then the lesson becomes complicated. That all what you are just focusing on is what are the tool like maybe Pareto principle, Ishikawa diagram, fish and bone diagram, and all those stuffs. They focus on that. But the agile mindset is, let our customer be working with us. Who, the owner of the project, we want to be interacting with you. Is this what you want us to do? Are we getting it right? If there's any issue, we do what?
Yes.
We quickly correct it. That is, they deal with individual and interaction. So whereas the other one is just follow the process, follow the initiating, follow the planning, and at the end of the day, they end up producing maybe some products that don't deliver value. And that's the reason why they also have come to adopt, or they adapt even the mindset into their own training. So the second one is the working software. They are bent in developing software. We don't want a software that at the end of the day it will be useless.
Yes.
So the mindset is we are bent in producing working software. So it's not that just go and develop the software. We take our time to all the programmers, all the developers, we work together. They test everything at every stages. They test what they are producing, and at the end of the day, the software is able to perform what is meant to perform. See all those AI stuff today, all those search engines here and there. When you are searching for something, they keep on improving on the working software.
Yes.
Not the software that will develop here, and at the end of the day, the people cannot use it. Too complicated. So before, what we have also is what? Just let me see the documentation, how the software is working. They will now be using the documentation to set. But this one, the mindset is, let us what? Develop. Let's see that. Let's see that the software is working and is meant to do what it's meant to do. So instead of completing a project, a water borehole project, that they will release a very big documentation. It's only on that day that project, that a water project, when they open the tap, that the water will come out. After that day, no, but we have the document on how the thing will work. But Agile is saying that no, let us see the software working. Not that we are not going to, you are not going to also check the document, but the thing is, let's see the practical. Let's see the demo, demonstrate it, and let it work well. And then I will implement it, and we see that the thing is working. That's the Agile mindset. Then, Agile mindset is also about what? Customer collaboration. And that's the reason why they said individual and interaction. So the customer.
I think you should remove your earpiece and just speak to your laptop. You'll be fine.
It's far from me.
Oh, okay. If you speak, since you are the one I'll hear you. That because
It's fading, Abby.
Yeah, it's when it's when you hold.
Okay,
it for
can you
long,
hear me now?
Except you can hang it on your ear and see whereby you can position on your mouth.
Can you hear me now?
If just remove it and speak, I'll hear you. Remove it first and speak.
Can you hear me now?
If there is no improvement, I can tell you.
Can you hear me?
It's faint. It's faint.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. I will.
Yeah,
I will control the mouthpiece. So customer
Or maybe
collaboration.
you should just try to put the mouthpiece, yes, again, so that it can be aligned with your mouth. Put it
Mm.
on your ear. Hang the stripe on your ear so that the thing will just fall on your mouth when you can speak.
It's
Because if
a-
you hold it too long, you will be tired and you want to do some demonstration. I understand as a trainer.
mm, it's all right. So number three is customer collaboration, and over they prefer that one over contract negotiation. So instead of contract negotiation, we just negotiate the contract, and at the end of the day, the contract may fail. So, but let's work together as a customer. See what we are doing. If there's any complaint, let's what? Let's make that changes, or let's implement what you want us to, or to resolve the problem. And then projects is about will involve changes. So they believe also in responding to change, and that's why we call it what? Changed based. So that's why we call it change based. Whereas the other one is following a plan. So individual and interaction over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. But does it mean that they don't respond to change in the predictive? Project
Yeah,
is
they
a
respond to change.
so
You have to go through the change control board.
okay, thank you. All right, so that's just what I want to bring out there. But here now, it doesn't have to go. It's already part of change. Is already
Yes.
part of the system. So where there is value in terms on the right, in items on the right, we value the item on the left more. So not that the item on the right, all those processes and tool, comprehensive documentation are not what valuable too. But sincerely, this on the left will really produce or we deliver a good value at the end of the project. So those are the four manifestos of Agile. They call it Agile Manifesto. So they also have 12 principles, and the 12 principles are itemized here as well. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. You see, it's about software. Welcome changing requirements, even late in the development. So they welcome what? Change requirements. Just tell us, in as much as it's going to improve the project, they welcome it. Then number three is they deliver the project the working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, within a preference to the shortest time scale. Then four, business people and developers, they work together daily throughout the project. So they work together throughout. They build projects around motivation or motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. So whether they are virtual team member, whether they are co-located, everything that they need to deliver the result is given to them. So they enjoy the support of one another. That's the mindset, agile mindset. The most effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is what? Face to face conversation. So our
Okay.
customer, you know, let's see you face to face. Tell us what you want, and then if what we are doing you don't like it, let us know. So that's the best form of communication. Working software is the primary measure of progress. That's their belief. That the software must just produce something that is what is working. not to release a document and come and be telling story at the end of the day. Agile processes promote sustainability development. The sponsor, the developer, and user should be able to maintain a constant pace individually. So, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhance agility. So, they pay attention to every details. So, the designing, the technical part, every detail that will make everything to run smoothly. That's what they are building into the mind of everybody. Then simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work done or work not done is essential. So they believe in simple approach, not to go and create a very complex plan that may not work at the end of the day. Let's
You want to
just,
navigate yours
yeah,
within 2 minutes. They want to do an
yes,
hotel within 2 minutes.
yes,
They are now spending 30 minutes because they want to book a flight.
exactly. So simplicity. Then the best architectural requirement and design emerge from self-organizing team. When the team, when everybody involved knows what to do and they handle the project as if they are the owner, that's better than me as a project manager be there be shouting and just lamenting, lambasting here and everybody. So that's to show that the team are not organized. But if the team are organized, then everybody will know what is expected of him and he or she will deliver at the right time. Then one thing that is very very common in this agile practitioner is at regular interval the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tune and adjust its behavior accordingly. So what I want to bring out also here is that most of the agile practitioners or practices, what is common is there's always a section whereby they organize meetings just to assess what they have done. Like in Scrum, that's what they call Scrum meeting, which is almost every morning, like 10 to 15 minutes. There's always a meeting. Abi?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
15 minutes. Stand up meeting.
Round off meeting. So whereby we
Stand up meeting.
okay, yes, stand up meeting. Thank you. So whereby we discuss about how we have gone, and then where are we going, and then you tell us your challenge. You reflect on how to become more effective, and what we are doing to make it to get the results that we desire. So
And I said in that meeting too, when I was reading back then, that in that stand-up meeting, it's not a purpose to, it's not a meeting whereby we are going to solve your problem. You can bring
no,
your problem there.
yes,
Then the problem cannot be solved when we now bring in another, we'll do another meeting.
yeah,
Because this is a stand-up meeting. We don't want it to be more than 10 to 15 minutes.
yes, 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 yes.
If
So
I can see the comment, so I'm
I
asking
yes,
if
yes,
I'm on map.
because there is also what we call retrospective.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
retrospective. Though retrospective is just like lesson learned meeting. Oh,
Yes.
so which we are going to
And
also.
that's retrospective. I thought it's the meeting that is aired right after the stand-up meeting,
And
after the review meeting.
well, the stand-up meeting is not is just like a mini review meeting. It's
Yes. So
just
I
to
said, yeah.
but
So
retrospective
I think it's
is
in that retrospective that's where we can now solve all the problems that you are
yes,
saying you are encountered. That
uh,
what is the problem you have when you are trying to tell us in the stand-up meeting? Just look at
yes,
what happened. Maybe
yes,
something is happening between the mechanical and the electrical team. Okay. Now in the retrospective, we can now talk about it and try to solve the problem. That
yes,
one does it's not it can take hours because
yes,
we want to solve a problem. If I'm still correct.
yes, yes. You are right. But another perspective to retrospective is just like lesson learned that at the end of maybe iteration two, we are looking back of what we have done. What have
Yes.
we done rightly? Is there
Yes.
any way we can improve so that when we get to the next iteration, we don't repeat the same mistake? So
Yes.
that's
You are very correct.
another aspect of retrospective. So that's just the PMP principle and the Agile manifesto. doing agile versus being agile. Agile means iteration are likely to be shorter, so it is used for maybe shorter project delivery. So in most cases, because normally software development are not supposed to be taking years before they are delivered. They only need improvements, and that's why we have them in what, in versions. Those developers, I don't know whether you're a developer too, sir.
No, I'm not a developer.
Okay.
I'm an instrumentation engineer.
Okay, okay, okay. Engineer. So the software, good software, within 2 weeks or months or 3 months, they release it. So like all those organizations, like they've been long in the production of software, like Microsoft and co. You see that it's just what they have. If just what they have that they are just improving upon. Windows 95. I started using
Yes.
Windows 95 because am a system engineer too. So I learned with Windows 95, and up to today, nobody taught me how to install Windows. What's the Windows 11 now?
11 or 7.
11. Windows 11 is
Okay.
is the latest now. Nobody taught me how to install it again. Nobody can teach. Nobody taught me how to install maybe some other software like Linux and co. And how to use them as well. You will see that people that have been using Microsoft Office since
Mm-hmm.
97 is the same way. The copy we have been using that time,
There is
Control C, is still the same way, the same one we are using in the late
yes, it's just
in the
the
latest one.
software that will now
Ah,
make it more easier.
yes. So it's just a kind
Because I
of
remember about, yes, about 8 9 years ago when my friend got me an opportunity to upgrade flour mill Windows from Windows 7 to Windows 11.
mm,
So it kind of, so it was kind of, they were scared. The customer were scared that hope it's not going to affect our process or something. I said no, everything is still the same thing. It's just more version and more advanced and more simpler than
yes,
Windows
and
7.
more simpler, more
So
robust.
when we see this, so there is no problem.
Mm.
So there is no problem after installing and upgrading their system, each and every one of them. And, oh, this one is more simpler. Oh, I don't need to go to this place again. What I need is in one port now. I can just click on this place and get it out.
Yes. So I think that's just what this iteration thing is based on. That let's release this version. Let's call it version one that we release to all the customer. Let them test it, let them enjoy it. All those antivirus, let them enjoy it for 1 month.
Yes.
Then after 1 month, they tell us their problem. Then we work on it,
Yeah.
and that's all.
Yes.
So agile means product is more likely to evolve based on stakeholders' feedback. So that is what is helping the agile methodology, and that's what they rely on. So, but like we said, is a mindset, is a approach that is also being adopted now to other projects. So still used for software development, and agile principle have been applied to other kinds of development projects vis-a-vis the agile mindset. And so that's just about the principle. They adopt flexible, change-friendly ways of thinking and behaving. They understand the purpose of these practices. Those that are practicing it select and implement appropriate practice based on context. Internalize agile value mindset and behavior. Okay, so another term that I have mentioned it, we need to take note before we close, is this tailoring. Tailor. So it's also a term that they use. And tailoring means when we have a project, what we just do is to tailor the particular approach to meet the need of that particular project. So because each project is unique, so we must adopt or adapt methods to the unique project to determine the most appropriate way of working to produce the desired outcome. So that is what we call tailoring, and that's the reason why we now have the hybrid. That is, when we have a particular project, okay, like a company wants to do, they want to construct maybe some, let's say, housing estate, and at the end of the day, the housing estate is also going to involve marketing in order to sell all those flats later on. So it's a project that is big, maybe like let's say maybe like 70 flats. So
Your voice, sir.
maybe like 70 flats.
Okay, sir.
So maybe like 70 flats. So they want to say, if the resources is not there to complete all the 70 flats, why can't we use uh, maybe predictive approach just to build like maybe like 20 flats first. So we plan 20 flats from beginning, from start to finish, and then the rest we can now use adaptive approach now to be doing it gradually. So when we first finish the maybe like the 20 flat, the remaining 50, let's bring in occupants, I mean the tenant to occupy to occupy the one we have completed, and as they are paying now, we can now use what they have been able to pay now to develop the other areas. That's in a way adaptive approach. So what I am trying to explain or to say is that this word tailoring is just a word that is used to say that the best approach for a particular project is being used, or the best approach is used at any stage, any approach that is suitable to be used at any stage of the project should be used for it. So they said tailor iteratively and continuously through the project. So the diagram they drew here in this slide represents hybrid. Do you understand, sir? Do you see this icon?
Diagram.
That icon at the corner,
Okay.
at the left,
Look like a machine.
like looks like a machine. Yes,
Like a pulley. Like a pulley.
yes, a pulley. Then with yeah, with arrow. So that is they normally use it to represent hybrid approach. Hybrid approach. So this one, can you see? Look at this one. This is
Agile.
agile,
Yes, I've seen this one. Agile.
and that's adaptive. So if you look at the one that, okay, let me see. So can you see the one for the
Yes, it's stated manual.
uh the
Predictive.
the predictive? So like that arrow, plan to finish. Then the one for the change base or adaptive is like a box round. That is, we just plan the first iteration. The project is continuous.
Finish it, you do
Uh,
another one.
yes.
Do another one.
Then the uh, hybrid
That's
is
what has a combination.
that's the combination. So we use more of tailoring term when we are talking about hybrid um, approach. So we tailor the hybrid approach processes and practices method. Apply product knowledge, delivery cadence, and awareness of the available option to select the most appropriate development approach. So tailoring, you tailor the process for the selected life cycle and development approach, including determining which portion or element should be added, modified, or removed, blended, and or aligned. So tailor practices and method to the environment and the culture. So even in managing the people too, what we use today is what is hybrid approach. So I think we can stop here for today. So maybe we'll spend much time to really look at lesson one. So the other lessons,
Okay,
and
sir.
because you are also an experienced person, so I don't really need to explain too much or talk too much. So, but I just want us to really look at this lesson one as the foundation. Very well. So hopefully next Sunday, I think we'll be able to finish.
Yes, sir.
You can finish lesson one and move forward.
All right, sir.
I don't know if there's
All right,
any.
sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Oh, I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, sir. So, maybe let's just still maintain Sunday for now, one day for now, until I'm a bit free. Maybe during the week that maybe we can look for maybe like so that we can finish on time. But are you planning to take the exam before the year runs out again?
Depending on how far we go.
How far we go? Okay. Okay, I will
Yes,
try.
sir.
I will try as much not to really delay, because I think it's better before they now release that new edition
Yes,
they want
yes,
to
yes,
bring
yes.
out.
Yes.
Uh, so
Let's close this so that so depending on how far we go.
okay, sir. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. My regards to the family. So I will try tomorrow to reload that of last week and this one.
Okay, sir.
I will try and see if the internet I think should be able to carry it. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Good night. My regards to the family.